No, I'm not. It's Maple. Sample lesson. Lesion. Okay. In Lumio. And click Finish Editing. And now this is a part of my library. And that's that. Movie that appears to be the never-ending story. I want to show you what that lesson, though it is not really a lesson because I haven't put any real content in it, what it actually looks like and why, I wanted to show this to you because it's embedded in all smartboards. So why not use it if possible? Again, I say reach out to IT to see if there are some site licenses that SPCC has. Again, I've got my own individual account that I've had for years, so I'm not really affiliated with SPCC's account, so I can do mine wherever. So when you do establish your Lumio site, your name will be Miss or Mr., whatever your name is, and they'll give you a class ID that your class will be able to use every time they enter the room. I think my students have it memorized now. They don't even have to look up at the whiteboard to see it. But what happens whenever I start this lesson is this. It's a little black screen. Now, over to the side here, you'll see this new look that you haven't seen before. And I'll click right here where the students will add, and I'll click this little arrow. Now, about the lesson pacing. You can choose to have it be teacher controlled, where you decide whether or not the students are on what particular slide, or it can become student controlled, and a lot of them love that because some of them are, they're quiet know-it-alls, or they really want to get their work done and maybe sit over to the side, but that's why I prefer teacher control, but student pacing, and they can go at their own pace. But I'm going to click on this, and this is what happens as we enter the room. They know to go to hellosmart.com and enter this class ID. So I'm going to pretend like I came into class, and I'm going to go to hellosmart.com. As you have seen, I've gone there many a time. And then I'm going to enter my class ID. They might not let me because I'm the teacher, but we're going to see. See, I've been to many people's classes. So I'm going to enter Ms. McNeil's class. I'll join as a guest. That's how they have to join, as a guest. Unless the school system buys smart accounts for all the students, which is not ideal, just let them join as guests. And this is what the students see under teacher control. See how large the screen is? You can click play and see the video. I won't show it in 2 minutes.
I figure 75% to you, Panma, and 25% divided between the 5 of us. Gither, Crowbar, myself, Tom, and the baby. That makes 5% for each one of us.
Billy, you're cheating yourself. If there's 25% divided among the 5 of you, that's 14% apiece.
Oh, no, listen, Pa. I wouldn't cheat you. You know I wouldn't. Now, look here. I'll show you. Let me rub this out here. And now, 25.
Now, as I promised, I'm not going to show the whole thing, but you can watch it at your leisure if you wish. I'm going to show you in the end how you could actually copy this and send students a link if they're ever absent to class, and they can actually look at it and then, watch it at their own pace, learn at their own pace, and not miss a beat of your lecture. Although they won't hear you, they'll be able to see what you wrote. So that's that. So as a teacher, I would say got it. I'm the one student that's connected. I can click on play, but I've already told you I did that. And then the thing about a YouTube video, though, is you want to make sure that they've got headphones, because having them all play at different times, that would kind of cause a headache, and I don't want that for you. This page, I didn't put anything on it, but it could be example 1, and they could work it out on the screen. Now, if this were a screen for a lecture, I could work out. I could come over here to the side and click on this pen and just say, hey, example 1. And I have been writing with my finger for many, many years, so I'm really good with it. But if you've got a screen on your computer where you can actually write on the screen and you've got a pen, good for you. I think you probably could integrate the document camera, but I've not tried. I've never had a use for a document camera, so there's that. And then once I'm done with this, I can move on to the next page. Now I can write on this. It's a great thing. If I want to take this screen that I can write on, or the students can write on, and I want to convert it into a shout-out activity, this plus button right here allows me to click on it and create a shout-out activity out of this screen. Or out of no screen. I can just create a shout-out activity out of the blue. So I can click here and ask the students what questions do you have for me right now? And they could start typing. So let's see what's going on this screen. I can type, I have no questions. Everything's amazing. All right, now I got 5 responses. So I could do it 5 more times. And students can do this without being seen. So I've submitted all of mine, and then you can see what happens on my screen. See, they appear on the screen, and then I can click on one of them, and then I can just click on the arrow to get to the next one. You know, I can see all of them, and it makes it a little bit more pronounced, not as tiny. And of course, I have my name here, but if I'd set it to no names, then, you know, of course, you know, nobody would see the name. They just see a different shape and a different color. Anywho, let's keep on moving. I've got graph paper. Now, if I wanted to graph different things, I do have to have a knowledge of how to use Desmos. So if I wanted to graph, say y equals 2 raised to the x power, I could put an x there. And then if I wanted this to be the absolute value of x plus 2, and I wanted to know what the solutions were, of course, Desmos gives you that immediate payoff. You can click right on the intersection points and find the 3 solutions. Whereas with TI-84, you'd have to, you know, left, right, stand up, sit down, fight, 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 and find the solution. And let's see what the student sees. The student is allowed to start, and then they would have to be prompted as to how to graph. Now, there are some students that think they're slick and say, I'm not going to bring my computer or phone to class today. That'll teach her. This projection right here is projected on the screen. They don't get to participate, and if I have done a shouted out or response activity, I could choose to take a grade on that, and they would miss out on that grade. All right, but, you know, many of them still elect not to. That's my second Desmos screen. And then if I shout it out, let's see what was the question. Do you have any questions about this topic? And once, you know, you look at their response, they've got 2 responses. I could say no. Or I could say yes, start over. You know, whatever. And of course, on that screen, those are my responses. And again, it doesn't look as robust as it'll look with more than one participant. If you've got 10 to 15 participants and they're coming up all over the board, it's quite interesting to just give them the opportunity to type. They don't type very quickly. All right, now here's the game show I put in there. So let's, you know, it only had 2 questions. Let's see how it looks on my screen. It's your turn to spin. Let's see what we start with. So they get to spin. And this is individual to them. So they'll get to be both teams. Because that's the way I've set this up. I haven't put them on teams. But there's only me to put on a team. I'm going to say false. Let's see here. If I did this one. And if I said true, let's see what happens when I get it wrong. I think I'll just get 0 points. I want to win. So that's correct. I won. Click on continue. And as the game show, you are both teams here. Because again, I did not put myself on a team because there's only one. So you spin, you win, you do everything that you can do. And if they take forever to get through the game, of course, with teacher control, dun, 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 I don't want to, you know, take all day to do things. Now over here, you notice the sound is off. This is a game show, so it actually has sound. You know, like all good game shows do. So if I click on spin on this one, I can go ahead and let's see what it does. And then I say it's true. They've got applause, they've got everything. So I've kept it silent, but you can make it as loud or, but one thing about those smart boards is that they get extremely, extremely loud. So I try to keep the sound pretty low or not try to play too much music because I did that once and I just took over the entire, it was like a club. People were coming off the elevator looking at me very excited, enticing. All right, so with this workspace where everyone could work, so let's look at what the student sees on the workspace side. Make this a little bit bigger. Now, I can assign teams, and usually if there's more than one person, they'll give you a number, but I'll just put everyone on one team. And now the students are ready to roll. They can come over here, and they just can get, started. They can make a 5. They can import a picture of a 5. They could type a 5 if they wanted to. Some of them might get smart and type a 14. Who knows what they're going to type. And when they are finished, they can click, What happens is it appears on the screen because this is a whole class activity. So whatever anybody writes automatically appears. Now, as the teacher, I could come over here and click on it and do a pull down, and I'll know exactly who typed it. So if someone were to do something real slick and try to type something that wasn't a math question or put some other symbols up here, I would know who did it. And then here, how's your brain feeling? Like I said, let's see if you can hear this. It'll give you a countdown. Hi, class. On this screen, I want you to move the slider to indicate how you are feeling about what you learned today. Is your head hurting and you still don't know anything? I have some questions, but you kind of learned a little, but you're still a little confused. Or are you a master? You've graduated. You know how to do this concept. But let me know by sliding the slider underneath the right area, right along the bottom. Great work. All right, now because I'm recording this video and I recorded my voice, recording my voice, you heard a little bit of an echo. You won't hear that when you do this on your own because I'm recording the video. That's why you heard that. But anyhow, this is what I imported from someone else's growth mindset lesson that they had in the resources. And this is what we'll end with today. Again, play with it. If you have any questions and I can help you, I'd love to. But this is all I've got. Play with Lumio or continue to do things the way that you do them. I just wanted to show you another way to present your content if you wanted to know about it.